CW, Bob Pompeani and Ron Cook with you on the Sports Call on the hotline presented by Bordas & Bordas. Call us. Let us know what you think. Tweet us, whatever the case may be. Other signings today, the Steelers picked up a cornerback, and this is a kid who has pretty good upside. His name is Steve Nelson. He was originally a third-round pick of the Chiefs back in 2015, elevated to starter last year, started 16 games, 4 interceptions, Ron. And to put that in perspective, it's the most interceptions of any Steeler in the secondary since Troy Polamalu back in 2010. So at least he can make those sorts of plays. He gets 3 years, $25.5 million.
Yeah, but he wasn't their first choice, was he?
No.
There were reports out there that they wanted to go. They did go after Denver's Bradley Roby, offered him a multi-year deal, is what the reports are. And he ended up saying, you know what, I'm going to gamble on myself here. He took a 1-year, $10 million deal with Houston. He said, "Now, see what I can do next year on the open market." So the Steelers went after Roby first. They got Nelson. Sometimes you settle for something, it turns out better than what you originally wanted. We'll see. He comes with mixed reviews from Kansas City. He's got to be better than Artie Burns. He's got to be better than Cody Sensabaugh.
And he also had 15 pass defenses, but he was one of the most penalized guys, at least 8th overall among corners in terms of penalties, and that includes pass interference. The other news of the night, Pitt Panthers. They beat Notre Dame the other day, and now first round of the ACC. I realize it's sort of the bottom feeders here, but they beat Boston College 80-70. 2 freshmen, McGowan's and Xavier Johnson, both did a good job. They play Syracuse tomorrow. Yeah,
and it's nice to see him finishing strong. Win over Notre Dame on Saturday, and then tonight. Be great if they could get another one against Syracuse tomorrow. Just a little bit of momentum to build on as Jeff finishes his first year and heads to year 2.
Excuse me about that. I didn't mean to be coughing.
You don't have to get all choked up about it,
over this whole situation.
One other Steeler note we should mention: Anthony Chickle signed tonight, $8 million, right, 4 year, I believe.
That's a lot, but New England was sniffing around too.
Yep, and so he's coming back. I guess it becomes official. Bud Dupree tomorrow for $9 million. I can't believe that.
You know, there are some people saying now maybe the Steelers should decide to go back on the Antonio Brown deal. I know they're not going to, but there was a thought about that at the beginning. Now that Beckham's in with the Browns.
No way.
I agree, but I mean,
it's
saying.
Time to move on. I'm eager now, not so much where Le'Veon goes, seeing how much he gets. For a while you heard the Raiders, then you heard the Ravens, and then you heard the Jets were the only team interested. It looks like he's going to have a hard time making up that $14.5 million he lost last year. So he gambled. Looks like he's going to lose. Antonio Brown did his thing, and he's going to win.
All right, let's go out to the lines. Bob and Clearfield, you're first up tonight. Hey, Bob.
Hi, gentlemen. Thank you. You know, you have to be happy for Jesse James. I mean, there was a guy who just quietly carried out his assignments, and guys like that, he's often end up having a very long career. But, you know, when you look, you said the deals for Beckham tonight, and other similar deals, there appears to be, he said, a dividing line. He said the prospect, he said, of a 2021 strike, and a time after that and a time before that. There appears to be some teams out there that are going to make an all-out move to make to the Super Bowl 2 years, but then you have the Steelers who've had a much longer and broader window. And I think he said they're looking beyond, he said, just the next 2 years. So I'd like to hear your thoughts on it. You can laugh if you want to.
Yeah, I mean, some teams are looking at it that way. The Browns are loading up. They see an opportunity. The Ravens have lost 3 starters on defense. They lost Joe Flacco. They're going to go with Lamar Jackson. The Steelers have lost 2 of their killer bees, which ultimately killed them anyway. And, you know, the Cleveland Browns sense an opportunity here. I will ask this question, Ron, of you, because I think it's pertinent. The Steelers have done business their way for the last decades, and it's been very successful. They've won a lot of games. They have the most Lombardis. But do you think it's time maybe that they tweak their approach, given how things have changed in the NFL?
Well, what are you talking about, adding more guaranteed money?
I'm talking about doing more in free agency even.
Well, I mean, they're getting penalized with the Brown contract, what, $21 million. You know, they don't have a lot to go out and pay some of these exorbitant guys. This $25 million deal for this guy is about as rich as they've given out ever. So we'll see. I think they're going to have to trade up to get one of those inside linebackers, one of the Devons. They're going to have to trade up and get. They need help at that position. They think they solidified the cornerback. They're going to have to find another wide receiver now. You can't get everybody in the draft, but if this kid Nelson comes in and can take care of the cornerback position, they're starting towards rebuilding that defense.
All right, let's go to line 3. We got Al in Bethel Park. Al, welcome to the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call. What's up?
Hey, Bob. How you doing?
Thank you for calling, Al.
Thank you. Hey, Mr. Cook.
Yep.
Bob, I agree with you about spending in a free agency. There's good safeties out there. Golden Tate is out there. They need to step up, and they need to spend some more money. I'm not saying spend $1.25 billion like the NFL did today, but a lot of guys out there who can fill their needs. Golden Tate wants to be here. They need to go out and start making a bigger splash in free agency. Thanks,
well, it
guys.
all depends on their
they're
cap.
Up against the salary cap. They can't go out and just sign everybody at these big prices.
But,
I think they would have liked some of these guys, but they can't afford them.
They do. They sign all their own
not
guys.
That they go up to the cap level.
I could argue that Bud Dupree is $9.2 million that they don't need.
Right.
I can make that argument based on what I've seen. Now they think he's going to jump out and become what they hope.
Year 5. I mean, they obviously see something that most people don't.
So he needs to put up much more than he's put up, and so far we have not seen that. Let's go to Ken in Clearfield. Hey, Ken, what's up? How are you?
Hey, Bob, Gene, how are you guys doing this evening?
Good.
That's all right. I've been called worse than Gene, I can tell you that. That's okay.
Okay, I got you mixed up there.
That's all right.
Hey, Bob.
Go ahead.
Hey, I think the Penguins had a great gut check tonight. They were down 2-0 to come back and win against Washington. They had a 7-game winning streak. I think, and after beating Boston on Sunday night,
yep,
that's a good sign. And I really believe if they get Chris Letang back, and also
Brian Rust, Zach Aston Reese, all of those. Thanks for the call, Ken. This is a team that has to be dealt with. There's no question. And Branson's moved in. Pettersson's played well. But this trade, Ron, of McCann and Bukestad may be the best. When you're talking about a trade that Jim Rutherford has made that could catapult them into something, this could be it. And it's very similar, to I look back, and they're not as big names. But when the Penguins back in the 90s made some big trades and brought in bigger names, these two guys all of a sudden have big roles, and McCann has become terrific.
Well, he got an empty net goal tonight to finish it off. That's 9 goals, I think, in 20 games since he's been here. Played on the top line. He's done fabulous. I mean, they loved him when they got him. Bukestad was the bigger name coming in, but I think McCann has been even more valuable for him. It's been a great move by Jim Rutherford, no question.
You see, a few years ago when they won their first of these 2 back-to-back cups, it was the infusion of young guys who were playing at a pretty good cost, and guys like Scott Wilson at the time, Tom Kuhnackel, Connor Sherry, and Russ. Those guys came in and gave them a lot for very little in pay. And then the year after that, it was Gensel. And now it's a 22-year-old McCann and Bukestad.
Well, one other note tonight, you talk about a guy who helped him win the Cup. Carl Hagelin got a real nice tribute.
He deserved it.
Video tribute, and the crowd gave him a long standing ovation. And then after that, they can root against the sweater that he was wearing. But the Penguins do that stuff so classily, and I thought it was a real nice moment for Hagelin tonight.
It was. All right, let's go out to Dan in Uniontown before we take a break here. Hey, Dan, how are you?
I'm doing good, Bob. Hey, I'm your Akron guy. I haven't talked to you in a while.
All right, we're good to talk.
I wanted to elaborate a little bit on what you just mentioned about the Steelers rescinding their offer on Antonio Brown.
They're not.
Go
ahead.
I know they're not because Colbert's yellow. That's probably the worst trade. He ought to be fired for one thing. But
what would you expect them to get out of that situation?
I'm shocked they got a third-round pick for Antonio. I thought they were going to have to settle for 5th or 6th.
Here's what you do now. I mean, Oakland has him on a pedestal. The fans are going crazy. You tell them, you say, we want your 24th pick of the draft, your middle first rounder, and we'll make this thing.
No, that's not a good way to do business either. You make a commitment to somebody, you follow through with it.
Yeah.
You don't. Then who's going to make the next trade with the Steelers?
And also,
and I don't like to call Kevin Colbert yellow. I think he did the absolute best he could in the situation that Antonio Brown put him in. Now, you can argue the Steelers created the monster, and they deserve blame for that, and they do. But I thought Colbert, they did what they could do to get something back.
You're not going to get a lot when you announce to everyone that we're going to make a trade for this guy. Right off the bat, your leverage is down, but then what he did to sabotage any effort is reprehensible. And good luck, Oakland. And guess what? My hope is that Juju Smith-Schuster puts up 120 catches this year, and the Steelers give him the biggest contract in NFL history. Then I want to see what Mr. Inflated Chest does. We got to take a break. We'll do it. Come back with more right here on the Sports Call.